You can't do everything well. You can do a few things exceptionally, or you can do everything adequately, but you can't have both. Welcome back to Daily Power Boost. On Monday, we talked about the opportunity avalanche, when every yes starts to bury you. Today, we're addressing the hardest part. How do you choose? Because once you realize not every good opportunity is right, the next question becomes, which ones do I keep and which ones do I release? That's where most leaders get stuck, because releasing something good feels like failure. Here's the truth. Releasing good to protect best isn't failure, it's strategy. A few years ago, a mentor of mine told me about a client he was coaching. She had a great business, great opportunities, great team, but she was exhausted. So he asked her, what would you stop doing if you weren't afraid of what people would think? She paused. Then she listed three things, three good things, profitable things, things people praised her for, but things that drained her. And he said, what if you stopped all three? She looked at him like he was crazy. But they're working. They're bringing in revenue. People love them. And he said, that's the problem. You're succeeding at things you don't want to succeed at. 6 months later, she cut all three. And her business didn't collapse. It actually expanded because she finally had space to focus on what she was built for. When he told me that story, it changed how I see strategy. Here's what happens when you don't subtract. You keep adding more projects, more partnerships, more opportunities, and you tell yourself, I'll figure out how to make it all work. But addition without subtraction, that's not growth. It's dilution. Because the more you add, the thinner you spread. The more you say yes to, the less present you are for any of it. You're doing 10 things at like 60% efficiency when you could be doing 3 things at 100%. Here's the shift. Strategy isn't about what you add. It's about what you eliminate. The best leaders aren't the ones doing the most. They're the ones doing the right things and ruthlessly eliminating anything else. Because every good thing you keep is taking space from something better. Let me reframe what the strategy actually is. Strategy is deciding what not to do. It's saying, this is good, but it's not the best, so I'll release it. Here's the filter. Ask yourself, if I could only do 3 things this year, what would they be? Write them down. Look at everything else you're doing. That's what you subtract. Not because it's bad, but because it's not the best. That subtraction, that's what we're practicing on our next episode. The FOMO tax, what you pay when you can't say no. Because once you know what to eliminate, the next challenge, doing it. That requires letting go of the fear that you might miss out. But first, let me wrap up today. Here's the good versus best practice for you. Write down this question. If I could only do 3 things this year, what would they be? And be ruthlessly honest with yourself. Not what you should do, not what looks good, what actually matters the most. Then look at your current commitments. Circle the ones that align with your top 3. Cross out anything that doesn't. The crossed out items, that's your subtraction list. Releasing them is not failure. It's about focus. The leaders who scale aren't the ones who do the most. They're the ones who figured out what to stop doing. Success is not about addition. It's about subtraction. And the more you subtract, the more space you create for what actually matters. This was the good versus the best. Why strategy is subtraction, not addition. Next episode, the FOMO tax. What you pay when you can't say no. You see, once you know what to subtract, the challenge becomes, letting go and that fear that you'll miss something. With strength and heart, I'm Shawn Michael. Stay close.